Midnight Double Feature presents Bad Crystal, a Breaking Bad podcast. On this episode, we bring you Season 2, Episode 13, ABQ, written by Vince Gilligan and directed by Adam Bernstein. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Bad Crystal, the final episode of Season 2. It's called ABQ, Episode 13. I'm here with my main man, Colin, as always. How you doing, Colin?
Hey, what's up, buddy? I'm doing well. I'm excited. I'm ready to jump into this. It feels like we've been Season 2. I mean, it feels like this should be like Season 4. Like, I feel like we've been doing this show for fucking ever. No, but it's fun, you know, and that's been the most fun about it. Is like, you know, it's like, oh, cool, Season 2 finale, but then it's like, oh my God, there's only 3 chapters left. It's like when you start finishing a book and you're like, no, I have to slow down. I have to appreciate this. So I'm excited, but I'm also like, man, 2 seasons down, like almost halfway through.
Well, if you want, like, I guess, ultimate appreciation of a TV show, probably start a podcast where you do every episode and go down, you know, in depth every hour. Yeah, for sure. But no, dude, yeah, this is the last episode of Season 2, and it's exciting, man. Like, this is the season that a lot of people considered Breaking Bad to really, really come into its own and really start to show its teeth. You know, Episode 1, we talked about it way back when on Episode 1. And Episode 1 is a fantastic introductory season, absolutely. But this is the season that really kind of like widens the scope and tells us who Walter White is and who he's probably eventually going to become and who Jesse is trying to be and who he unfortunately can't be because of his connection to Walter White. And not only that, but, you know, Hank and his investigation heating up and Gus and these larger kind of like underworld figures, you know, like this is Season 2 does a lot of heavy lifting for the rest of the show.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, I think it absolutely knocks it out of the park. But guys, before we get into the episode, thank you so much for joining us here at Bad Crystal, a Breaking Bad podcast. We are Midnight Double Feature. We have... this is not our main podcast. If you want to join us on our main podcast, head over to Midnight Double Feature on any podcast app that you're listening to. We cover movies. We talk about TV shows. You know, we have upcoming attractions episode, feature presentation episodes. We also have our Patreon called The Green Room. If you'd like to become a member for $5 a month. You know, we don't have any sponsorship. We don't have any advertising or anything like that. We're completely member funded and member run. So, you know, we want to, you know, put the call out there to you guys to support the show, because we're doing this out of our own pocket. You know, it's fun, it's good, it's you know, it's awesome. But you know, we'd like to see, you know, people responding to us, and we do, and we absolutely appreciate the Green Room members.
Yeah.
So if you want to become a Green Room member, head to patreon.com/Midnight Double Feature. Or head to our website, midnightdoublefeature.com. If you just want to follow us, you don't want to, you know, chip in any money, that's completely fine as well. Head to any of our social medias, any of our social media platforms, rather. They're in the show notes. You know, they're just kind of listed in whatever app you're listening to. They're right there. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, on YouTube even. So there you go. All right. Colin, you got anything else, any other preamble before we start the app?
No, man. No, I just you like, hey guys, sign up for the Green Room. It's just like Jesse trying to pump the chest alive. Like, come on, dude, come on. Like, just begging.
Give me money, man. Give me money, man. Give me money. But no, look, a couple of dude. Okay, so in my notes for this show, so this is how my notes for Breaking Bad, Bad Crystal work. I've got one giant Word document all the way from episode 1, season 1.
Oh, cool.
And so the start of this episode of this season 2, episode 1, where we kick off with them with Tuco in the kind of like junkyard. You remember that?
Yeah.
I wrote down a note. So I wrote down season 2, episode 13, because there is something that is relevant all the way from back then.
Oh, wow.
I've been looking at this note every episode because it gets pushed onto the next page. So back in the first episode of this season, when Walt is figuring out that he needs $737,000, this is a plane crash we've been following the entire season. It's a 737, and as he's calculating the 737, when he says the word, I need 737,000, you can clearly hear an airliner in the background.
Damn.
Very clearly.
Damn.
Dude,
I was foreshadowing.
I was listening. I was 100% listening out to it that first time. That time we were like covering it, and I was like, "Man, I can't bring this up. I can't bring this up on the episode. I'm gonna have to wait. I'm gonna have to wait until episode 13."
Well, and plus, if you'd have said it like, "Hey, remember this," on the last episode, it would have been like coming to me at 10 years old and being like, invest in Yahoo. Like, I would have been like, what? I don't, what does that mean?
I'm like the Flash going back in time.
I'm not going to remember that when I'm 30. Dude, yeah, that is such good foreshadowing. I can't even see my hands. It's so dark from the shadow of that foreshadowing. It's like, oh totally, my God.
Another thing as well, so now I can reveal this. So the episode titles of this season, episode 1, 737. Episode 4 is called Down. Episode 10 is Over, and episode 13 is ABQ. So 737 down over ABQ.
Damn. Yeah. Damn. That's interesting, man. And what's bullshit is that I didn't catch that, because when you go to select the episode, it's like bing, 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 and it's like, oh, right. Cool, they're all right there. Yeah, man, damn it. I'm going to start watching the show. I'm going to start watching the show. I'm going to start looking. What letters do they put in green in the people's names? Does that mean anything? Like when the credits roll?
I remember people were like, yeah, definitely going into that level of detail because season 5 was aired over two years. So they broke it up into half. And I remember in that half, like after this first half, everyone was just like making these crazy theories, dude. Like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the pretty fucking awesome foreshadowing for this particular episode. I'm just going to go ahead and say it, man. Aaron Paul is a fucking powerhouse in this episode, man.
He's the MVP.
Powerhouse.
This is
holy shit.
To me, this is when he stops being like, I don't know. This is such a big pivotal turn for him, where I feel like, yeah, there's debatable moments where Walt turns into Heisenberg, but this is where Jesse really turns into kind of like, you know, even though Walt is the more like educated one, he's smarter, he's meticulous, but Jesse is more of the moral compass, you know, and I think that those roles are like super defined now, because you have like Jesse who, you know, he saw that kid and like fed him and stuff and like tried to get help for that kid, but like Walt literally like just watches somebody gurgle to death and he's just like, I feel nothing. You know, it's like, that's right. Kind of crazy that like you would think Jesse would be the one to shank his own mother for $10 when the show started. And now we're at a point where it's like Jesse would save a fucking baby from a burning building if he had to. You know, it's like he's become, especially, I mean, I think that's just when he turns right there. And you're right, Aaron Paul, he's the goddamn MVP of this episode. He does such a great job.
100%, man. But yeah, look, let's get into the episode as a whole. What did you think about this season finale, about ABQ as a whole?
I thought it was really good. I feel like a lot of stuff, the pots have started to boil over. You know, Walt had a surgery. He's confronted by Skyler. You know, we have this kind of resolution with Jane and this whole thing. So a lot of plates are being spun in different ways now, and other plates have popped up. So I think that's really cool. I think they've done a good job of kind of closing the stuff that they were on and opening up new doors and windows for the story to go. I think they do a really good job with that. I'll be honest. My biggest gripe is really, I don't love like the ending of it, to be completely honest. Like, I don't love like, because the show has not really been this grand of a scale. And when this episode was first beginning, you know, and we have kind of like this recurring image that we've seen all season, when I saw all the helicopters and shit. I was like, dude, this is like, what the fuck? I was like, how big is this? And then once I finally saw the ending, I was like, man, it's cool. It didn't rock my socks off because I feel like it was just a little, I don't know, it happens to be, I guess I tend to pick things apart, but then I also go, oh, it just so happens to be that he's an air traffic controller, and it just so happens to be that Walt looks up, and it just so happens to be when Skyler leaves. And it's like, well, that's also just plot. Like that's also poetic. A TV show.
It's also poetic too. Like it's like a Shakespearean like tragedy kind of thing.
Right. Well, and I think there's something where really interesting about that that I can get over the ending. I don't love it, but I do like the fact that it's like Walter literally has not had to deal with any consequences of the people that he's affecting, really. You haven't really seen any ripples of like these and we get a lot of that in this episode. So the ending was kind of like, watching the seeds of your fruit kind of come to fruition. And it's like, oh man, like you reap this, motherfucker, you sow it. It's like, oh, that is brutal. And that helped me get over it from like a theme of kind of like, oh, okay, there's a reason that's in there. There's a reason it's that big of a scale. That helps me kind of like push that turd out of my ass. But I still was like, at first it kind of threw me a little off guard. But other than that, I mean, I think the whole episode's fantastic. Skyler's got a lot of shit going on. Walt Jr.'s got a lot of shit going on. Hank, Marie's got everybody in here. I really like that. I mean, fuck, except for Skyler's boss, like every main character is in this shit. Every main and minor,
Yeah, totally. This incorporates pretty much every major character, every character the season's introduced. Look, I really, I think I was really thrown for a loop when I first saw the plane crash thing. Because again, like you, I was like, man, is this the scale of this is not Breaking Bad, right? Like it's not, like this is about a chemistry teacher who wants to, cook meth. Like it's not, planes crashing into each other and shit. But I love. Here's my kind of like take on it, and we can probably talk about it a bit later. Actually, maybe not now is not the best time to bring it up. But my take on it is like the one decision that Walter makes like affects hundreds of lives. Like just so it's not even like indirectly; it's pretty direct, right? I mean, like this is the father's name is Donald. So Donald sits down in his air traffic controller seat, right? Like and like. As he's, reading out the plane tags, right? He's supposed to say Juliet, but he says Jane, and he's just not able to concentrate. It's 100% a direct, reaction to Walt's, I guess, omission to save Jane. And I've come to love it because it's just kind of like one of those things where, holy shit, man, like that's the butterfly effect. Like, like it's just so completely unforeseen. Like, Walt at this point has no idea that he caused that crash, right? But, it's just like one of those things where, like, how could he have foreseen that? Like, how could he have done that?
Right.
And like, everyone's decisions lead to something, right? Even something that's so unforeseen. And again, I'm going to go ahead and talk about, because this is Walt to a T. Walt does this so often where he makes a decision, but there is, again, we've talked about this on this podcast so many times. Walt makes a decision, but there's always something kind of like hanging loose that he doesn't see. Like, there's something that he's always not able to foresee. In this case, I think he very much didn't fully anticipate the fallout of letting Jane die. Like, he underestimated Jesse's infatuation with her. Like, like he just... Because there's a couple of times in this episode where he asks Jesse, like, I mean, when he goes to the toilet phone, right? And he picks up the phone and he's like, I got a call from the guy, we should do this, we should start cooking. Like, there's no kind of like level of like sympathy there. Like, it's all just like, let's get back to work. And he thought it was going to be that easy. He thought it was just going to be like, oh, okay, look, she'll die. We'll get back to work. That's it. We'll get back to cooking. But it's just not that easy.
Right.
And I think he really underestimated Jesse's love for Jane. And that's unfortunate.
Yeah, well, yeah, and like you said, it's the first kind of like ripple effects of seeing like what has happened, and I think there's a couple of different things that happen. Of like, yeah, he kind of underestimates the infatuation, but at the same time, it's really Walter who kind of fucks everything up when he's just like, "What phone?" And it's like, "Oh, damn it, like fuck."
Right.
And the now whereas like the business side of things, which is kind of like fucked for now, like I mean you just had surgery, blah blah blah, but now like I don't know, that's a whole other kit and caboodle. It's like this pot finally just got finished, like at least somewhat simmering, and now at home it's like boiling over. It's like, fuck, man, you can't keep balance. Jesus.
Right. Yeah, there's so much going on. But yeah, look, what do you say we get into this episode, dude? The final episode of season 2.
Nah, I'm good. I'm just kidding.
All right, we'll see you guys. We'll see you guys later. Wrong theme music.
Oh, yeah,
God
that's
damn
true.
it.
What is our theme song? Isn't it Loser by Beck?
I don't know why people listen to us. I don't know why people listen to us, dude.
Yeah, let's do it.
Cold open. The entire picture's made clear. This is a plane crash. Dude, I love the pan up to reveal like the smoke and the news helicopters, and as we're panning up, like the color slowly starts to bleed in because it's black and white like the whole time, and the final shot is, you know, full color. It's awesome, dude. I love that kind of like editing kind of like trickery.
Yeah, I like it.
But at this point, we still don't know what the context of this is, right? We're still like, you know, even though we've got the full picture of, hold on, the NTSB, like this is air safety related, but like we don't know how this fits into the world of Breaking Bad at this point.
Mm-hmm.
We got the title card, dude. I love the first shot being the shot of the springs in the mattress. Like,
yeah,
it really reminds me of the second episode of this season, Grilled, which opened on that car's kind of like hydraulics bouncing up and down.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you think of sex, right? I mean,
yeah.
like, I'm thinking of sex.
Well,
because like it's just the connotations are there, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know?
Well, so I'm watching it and it cuts to the springs, and all of a sudden it's going. I was like, "Is he fucking her dead body?" And I thought he was going like fucking Dahmer on that thing. I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, okay, never mind." Like, Jesus, yeah, that's immediately what my mind kind of cut to. It's interesting beginning on that because we see a lot of thing between like sex as being the thing that kind of creates life, but we also see the end of a life. We see the beginning of a life. Like we see a lot of stuff like with this kind of creation and destruction kind of balance that's going on. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much, but I think that's interesting.
No. I think that's perfect, dude, because I think that's 100% on point. I really wonder what Vince Gilligan and company were like, you know, what we're trying to evoke, because I mean, the heavy breathing, the springs, like, I mean, obviously you're going to think about sex, right? But like, unfortunately, that's not what's happening, right? I mean, like any other show, any other turn of events, that's what would be happening. But this is Breaking Bad, and Walter is who he is, and he didn't save Jane, and this is what happens. But yeah, Jesse's hard at work trying to resuscitate Jane, but she just stares up at him with those cold, dead eyes.
Ugh.
He realizes that she's gone and just proceeds to bawl his eyes out, dude.
What a little bitch.
This
hard as a rock. No, I'm just kidding. No, I kind of underestimated as a viewer exactly how much this would this would have on Jesse. I knew it wasn't going to be good, but I didn't think that it was going to be like, you know, man, I'm quite, you know, I guess it is kind of the catalyst, what I would assume, because I haven't seen any of the other episodes beyond this, is like, this is the catalyst that kind of turns him into the character he is. Because I know certain things, like I know he ends up not being like the fucking season 1 Jesse. So like what happens along the way, I think this is a big catalyst. And I think he handles all this really well. It's very believable.
Right. Yeah, well, as I mentioned last episode, and you know, it's been a while since we recorded, so I'm pretty sure I mentioned this, but like Vince Gilligan has come out and said that to him, this is the moment that made Heisenberg, Walter Heisenberg, right? That's the moment. That's the Breaking Bad. That's the turn. But also, and like, you know, I don't think Vince Gilligan has said this, but this is also the moment where Jesse becomes, like you said, he stops being the punk ass brat who's, you know, fucking a big titted blonde in a double story and just jumps out a window.
Right.
He's a bit more, he's become a lot more worldly, sorry. And like, you know, he is more human, you know, like he was able to establish a connection with his girl. And yeah, unfortunately, it was just snuffed away from him.
Right, yeah. Unfortunately, it's one of those, you know, sometimes when that happens, that first friend dies or someone, it seems like Jesse probably hasn't had somebody that's really close to him die like that. Like, maybe combo, maybe some dealers or something, but not like Jane.
Right, and not right next to him. Right? I mean, like, that's a thing.
Waking up to that. And it's not like, oh, you saw this person shot in front of you. It's like you wake up and everything's fine. And you're like, hey, morning. And it's like, oh, fuck. That's terrifying.
Vomit all over her face. Yeah, man. It's wild. Meanwhile, back at home, Walt's spending some time with Holly when he receives a call from an absolutely beside himself Jesse. Walt tells Jesse to sit tight and he knows who to call. I mean, Walt's obviously done some thinking, right? I mean, like since the death. Yeah, and look, watching Bryan Cranston's face as he has to kind of like pretend that this is the first time he's hearing this.
Well, then, like Skyler, it's lies upon lies upon lies. It's like, oh man, just how do you even know who you are at that point? That's like so many deception levels in. Like how, like who are you even?
We're going into the lie 4 levels deep.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Cut to our introduction, our first introduction to one of my MVPs of the show, Mike Ehrmantraut, played by Jonathan Banks. I fucking love this guy, man.
I knew this guy was going to come up at some point. I was excited when I saw him. I was like, okay, this guy's a major player. I feel like we're getting it. Now we're in Breaking Bad. Like now we're in the thick of it.
He is incredible. Not just in this show, but also in Better Call Saul as well. He plays Saul's fixer. Dude, I love his confidence, right? Like he has such an amazing presence, you know, the gloves, the quick questions, the commands. Like he knows what he's doing because we get the sense that he's seen some shit and that's why we buy it, right? Like we buy the fact that he's in charge because we get the sense that he's seen some shit before. Like this is not the first time he's doing this.
Right. Well, and he walks in and is like, hey, you called me. Something's wrong. Shut up, bitch. Let me do my shit. Like, yeah, I love that. Big dick energy. And it's not like, not big dick energy, like, oh, I've got a big truck and like sleeveless shirts. Yeah. Like, nah, this guy comes in. Yeah. He would fuck you when you would thank him. That's how that works. Like, well,
that's it, dude. Like, he looks like an old and vulnerable man.
Right. But he'd fucking break your nose in a heartbeat, you know?
Totally. He cleans the place up, packs up everything incriminating, drugs and other stuff. He says, any other drugs in the house, think hard, your freedom depends on it. Here's your story. You woke up, you found her, that's all you know. Jesse's basically catatonic and Mike just fucking slaps the phrase into him, dude.
Hell yeah.
Oh, holy shit. Police officers may arrive, they may not. Depends how busy a morning they're having. He's like, ODs are usually not a priority. And Mike gives instructions to Jesse on how to proceed.
He knows a lot about how cops would respond to stuff. That's interesting. That's interesting. I mean, that's just a professional in their league, I guess. But I was like, that's awfully interesting. And he commands a presence. I was like, this guy seems interesting to me.
Well, yeah, I mean, it kind of like gives you a sense as like either A, he used to be a former cop, or B, he's been doing this since fucking he was 12 years old and he knows exactly the ins and outs of, you know, of how police respond. Can't talk this morning, Jesus. Back at the White residence, Walt Jr. is incredibly happy with the website, right? It's actually pretty sad. Like, I mean, dude, like, I mean, come on. Like, he's so over the moon and he's so excited to help his father and, you know, to see that, you know, other people are as compassionate as he is. And he's just so ecstatic, right? As Junior explains that the money's coming from all over the world, dude, like the look on Walt's face is
because
priceless,
at first,
man.
I kind of forgot this is Walt's money. Right.
Yes.
This is Walt's money trickling
It's Walt's money being funneled in. Yeah.
Right. So at first I was like, oh my God, is this actually getting traction? And he already I was like, oh, wait, no, never mind. I was like, that would be kind of fucking shitty though. Like, man, I'm getting millions for people and I fucking sling meth. No, I thought this was great though. But also like, shut the fuck up, Walt. Just do it. Just roll with it, dude. You like, literally, it's like you cannot get that any better. It's a slow trickle. It's not like somebody donated $50 million to you, and it makes the kid feel good, and it makes your whole family feel good. And it's like you need as much good shit going on in your house as you can. Like you really do, because it's just pride, it's a distraction.
Man. He can't let it go. He can't let it go, man. Like it's just
like, that's my fucking money.
Right. Dude, it's the most angry look I've ever seen on his face as he just stands here and like, you know, like Walt Jr. is explaining that it's coming from all over the world. He's jealous. Like, you know, other people are getting praised for the money that he made. Like, you know, they're getting the credit, not Walt. And that honestly, in a nutshell, is who Walter White is. He's someone who wants people to know who he is, to know that he's capable of doing this, you know?
Right.
And it's just, yeah, this is rough. This is rough to watch because this should be such a good thing. Like, you know, like, and it's so easily, you and I could probably play this off, right? Like, I could just be like, oh yeah, fuck yeah. Because like, there's a level of pride that we just don't have that Walt does.
Right. Absolutely. I would not have any problem being like, yes, Good Samaritans. That's excellent.
Yeah. Thank you, Jonathan from Canada, for that.
Right. Yeah.
Jane's father, Donald, arrives thinking that he's going to take Jane to rehab. Man, this is soul crushing, right? Because as he's arriving, he's leaving a voicemail for Jane saying that you know, we're going to go to
you
rehab.
Better not be dead.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
You better be alive and well when I get there, young lady.
There better not be an EMT outside.
Your esophagus better not be filled with vomit. No, I'm just
oh shit.
That's terrible.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Dude, there's a moment here when he just watches on as the EMTs put her in a body bag, and it's so they do such a good job with making it so cold and impersonal. Like the sound of her body hitting the body bag, just gives me chills. Like it just feels like it sounds like dead weight just hitting something cold, you know?
Yeah, and that's the thing is these. You know, there is kind of like an urgency of like, hey, we got to get this done. There's other people, you know, there's other shit that needs, you know, like he said, I mean, even the cops are like, yeah, overdose is a low priority. It's like, yeah, she's dead. What are you going to do? We got to go. You know, it's like, we're holding up an ambulance here. Let's go.
Right. Donald answers these questions from the EMT, and he's just in a state of shock as he watches the EMTs roll Jane out of the front door on a gurney. Man, what a moment for a father to witness, dude.
Right.
Walt calls Jesse off the burner phone. And again, this is what I was talking about. There's no remorse here. It's just right back to work as he says, our friend, meaning Gus, says everything's good to go. So give me a call back. That's all he says. Like he doesn't say, how are you holding up? Or, you know, are you okay? It's just straight back into it. Dude, I'm not sure if you noticed this or if you picked this up. But as we cut over to the DEA, there is an amazing shot here as we cut to Hank holding up the donation jar with Walt's face on it. Dude, so good, man.
Did I catch that?
For those of you who are listening, as Hank holds this Walt's face up, the photo of Walt's face, right behind him is this giant wanted sign. It's brilliant, dude. Yeah. It's such great framing. It's brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Hank lays it out. Combo's been shot dead, and when he was shot dead, he was dealing what they call blue sky now. Dude, anyone? Bueller?
That's good.
Hank says that there's no blue sky to be found in Albuquerque anymore. And Hank doesn't buy that Albuquerque PD didn't get Heisenberg, right? I mean, that little, switcheroo that they did a couple episodes ago.
Right.
Better Call Saul. Yeah. He's been thinking, been making many phone calls. Turns out blue sky has been found in every surrounding state outside of New Mexico, except New Mexico. Hank believes that guy's still here in New Mexico and he's still cooking. Yeah.
I love the
Pretty
shot of
solid.
Hank in the middle of the room, like, who is this guy? And where we? And then all of a sudden you just see a picture of Walter's face go past the camera as the people are passing the buck around. It's like, oh, man.
Brilliant, man. Like, the framing in this episode is absolutely brilliant. Walt receives a call from Saul, who says Mike found Jesse in a crack house, right? Mike suggests that Walt handled this because it's dangerous and APD have been known to sit on this place. Dude, can we talk about this place? This place...
Oh, dude. Ugh,
this place
like
looks
Jacob's
like hell.
ladder.
Dude, you got fucking Skeletor, this Skeletor-looking motherfucker as Walt walks in. Holy shit.
Dude, that guy. Like, as soon as you walked in, it's like, it's one of those places where, especially Walt, just even getting on the ground, like, dude, no, I don't mean this jokingly. When you get home, you burn your clothes. Like, there's no way. I don't want anything. I will strip out at the door and have another few shake before I bring my clothes into the fucking house.
Can you imagine? Okay, look, there's bacteria, and then there's meth house bacteria.
And then there's
Like,
whatever
you know?
these people are living in. Like,
Right. I have a little note here, man. The makeup is amazing on that Skeletor looking guy. If that guy isn't a real crack or meth addict,
yeah,
I don't know.
The crazy thing is seeing Walt, and this feels like some shit out of like Pulp Fiction, you know, Butch like cutting through the fence and shit and walking across this like open lot. This feels kind of like Pulp Fiction to me, but seeing Walt literally come face to face with just like, I wonder how much of my shit this guy smoked, or how much of my shit these people have like gone through, and literally stepping over the bodies of people and coming face to face with that woman who's just like, you know, just looking at him like, dude, you're looking, you know, this is your livelihood. You know, this is you watching these people in the face. And it's interesting too, because when you think about his profession as a teacher and seeing the faces of these kids like, hey, what's up, Mr. White? And I'm going to go and I'm going to be a vet and I'm going to be this. And then you turn and see these people where it's like, you know, how long until these are your students? How long until your students are 25 years old and you're the guy selling meth that ruined their life? Like, you know, I don't know. I think there's something interesting about with his previous profession of like, you know, say no to drugs and being a part of the public school system to like walking through like your own personal like graveyard, you know, shit, that's fucking dark.
Well, it's interesting you bring that up because, I mean, think about the reason he's here. Like, he doesn't even consider the fact that, you know, these people may have, like, you know, used what he was, like, selling, right? I mean, like, you know, like, there's no consideration of that. Instead, it's the opposite. It's, I'm here for Jesse so we can cook more. Like, you know, like,
this is a means to an end, yeah.
Right, exactly. And it's just, it's awesome. It's fantastic. I just have a big note here in bold lettering. Don't touch anything, Walt.
Oh,
don't touch anything. You get hepatitis, man. Just fucking amputate your arm.
It's like Kid Rock's hanging out in the background, like, what's up, brother? Fuck you, Kid Rock.
Dude, the mood here, right? Like Dave Porter's like ominous score, you know, it's fantastic. Dude, the dude with the face tattoos, definitely a vampire. That's a vampire right there.
Right. Yeah, that's actually a good cover. He's like, yeah, I love drugs. And he's like,
He's full got like a European accent, a thick European accent.
Oh, I love the Vicodin. Like, what would be hilarious is he like, hey, I'll give you 2 of these Percocets. You let me suck on your neck. And he like just gets some shit and he sucks the blood out. Oh my God.
Walt just holds up a ring of garlic. Get back.
Yeah.
Get back.
I thought it'd be so funny to see him try to get out of this room and just throw a bag of meth on the other side and be like, go get it, and just run out. See you later.
Oh, dude, it's like fucking The Dark Knight where he breaks the pool cue and the pool stick in half. Make it fast.
Yeah, go for it.
Make it fast. There's literally like a couple just fucking on the ground, dude, and I'm just like, the last thing I think about when I see this place is sex. Having my naked body touch any part of this place. I
have a feeling they're not having protected sex either. I don't think they're married. I don't think this is protected sex. I will say I'm not a fan. No, I'm just kidding.
This is definitely out of wedlock.
Right.
Walt finds Jesse in an absolute stupor, and Jesse just falls into Walt's arm, just absolutely bawling his eyes out. And I think this is the moment where Walt actually realizes just how much Jane meant to him, right? As Jesse just blames himself for Jane's death. And that is such a crazy byproduct of Walt not saving Jane that he never considered, right? That Jesse would blame himself. Like, I don't think he ever considered that.
Right. Yeah. I think he underestimated Jesse's feelings for her and Jesse's kind of depth for self-reflection, I guess, and just say, this is me, that I'm responsible for this, you know? And the thing is, this is one story. This is like one chapter out of like how many grams and ounces and pounds of like life have you changed? Fuck, that's crazy.
Absolutely. We see Jane's apartment for the first time as Donald goes to gather her things. Again, this, just seeing what's in her apartment tells us a lot about who Jane was.
Mm-hmm.
The words ambitious and creative are the words that jump out to me when I see the wall, the mural, the artwork.
It's
this
clean,
woman was
it's tidy, you know?
Yeah. Like, it's not a pigsty. Like, it's awesome that we get to see the previous scene with the crack den, and then we get this immaculate apartment right after.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
right.
you know, it's really, really well done. Donald picks out a blue dress with long sleeves for her, assuming, you know, they never say it, but I'm assuming it's to cover the track marks on her arms when they bury her.
Right.
It's a nice little touch. Walt changes Holly as he hears the dinging from the money coming in. Each time, dude, it's like, ding, more money you don't get credit for.
Dude.
Ding, more money you don't get credit for.
I know. There's one thing, I mean, because the transition where he takes the arms of the dress and kind of lays them out, and then it cuts to Walt changing Holly, and she's laying on her back with her arms kind of spread out, and it's the exact same position that like Jane's dress is in when he's changing Holly.
That's cool.
I was like,
that's awesome.
And it's watching a father change a newborn into a set of clothes versus an older father changing an older daughter into the last thing they'll ever wear. Like, that's some dark juxtaposition, dude.
That's sick. I never noticed that. That's awesome, dude. So you do something around here. That's awesome. That's great.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of weird. Like, I know this is a stretch, and I'm not subscribing to this, but literally, Skyler walks up with a dress that looks extremely similar. It's like a blue dress with like short sleeves and shit. And I was like, that. I don't know. I'm sure that's just a coincidence, but I was like, oh man, that's kind of weird.
Well, yeah. Skyler walks in and tells Junior that he's going to be on a newspaper. Right, just what Walt wants.
Now, this is where I would start to get pissed, because it's like, I don't need anybody, because there's going to be pictures. I don't need any of this shit, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hank gets a visit from his boss, who introduces him to some notable people sponsoring the fun run. Dude, this amazing pan over as he introduces the final person being Gus, right?
Dude. This is great. This is like Shaun of the Dead, where he's like, it's not that I don't like David and I. Guys, it's not that I don't like you. And it cuts over and they're right there. I was like, but it's like,
also some like Arrested Development shit when you zoom out and someone's like sitting there the whole time. Yeah.
The crazy thing is like how seeing that for comedic effect, like you said, Shaun of the Dead, Arrested Development, and then seeing it in this turn where like you literally go, oh, fuck, dude. Your
asshole just clenches. But it makes total sense. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, inside the belly of the beast, being a prominent member of the community means that you're above a certain level of suspicion, right? I mean, like, sure, you know, you'll still be suspected, but like, it also creates a lot of doubt in someone's mind, right? I mean, dude, like, even just like right off the back here, right off the top here, Hank extends his hand and says, "I love your chicken," right? I mean, like, there's already kind of like a level of trust here, right? It's fantastic.
And his kind of like, I guess his mask is awesome, because he's like, you know, what do you do? Oh, I run a restaurant. I'm this nice, polite, you know, if he has money, if you're like, hey, yeah, he lives in a nice house or he drives a nice car, it's like, well, he owns his own business. He runs it, you know. Everything just seems accountable. You know, this guy is a fucking chameleon.
Dude, he drives a shitty Volvo from memory, right? I mean, like, there's there's nothing tying him to any level of wrongdoing. It's fantastic. Gus also is able to get some information from Hank here, right? He asked about Walt's photo, and Hank just spills the beans, right? Telling him it's his brother-in-law and he's got lung cancer. These are two things that Gus can use to squeeze Walt, and Hank has no idea, because to anybody, these are just normal questions. Like, this is
the truth. The things that hurt Walter are the truth. Like, that's the fucked up part, is like, you live in a web of like deception and shadow. And it's like the only things that really hurt you are, well, what's the truth? You know, like, oh, I have cancer and I'm a chemistry teacher. If anybody found that out, your life would be fucking over. Like that's how
and
that's how deep
my brother-in-law's a DA agent. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Yeah. You're double fucked.
Jesse's at this super fancy rehab. Dude, this is fucking wild.
Hell yeah.
This is crazy.
I want to go here.
I want to go
This place
here.
looks awesome.
Anyone got any heroin? Get me, fucking check me in there. Holy shit.
You take people who are addicted to caffeine because,
sex? You can be addicted to sex and go to rehab, right?
Yeah, people that are addicted to Star Wars Battlefront 2, because that would be awesome.
Call of Duty Warzone. But yeah, he's at this fancy rehab with Walt, who tells him he has surgery on Friday. If the surgery doesn't go well, Saul's got Jesse's share of the money. Walt says, lingering on things doesn't help. Just try and focus on getting better. And to me, that just says, Walt is eager for Jesse to move on for his own purposes. Right?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't, none of this smacks as if, like, a friend consoling someone who's lost someone. It smacks of someone who is someone's work colleague and their work is too hard, or they're eager to get back to work and they're wanting their colleague to come back to work as soon as possible.
Yeah, well, that and to alleviate also your own guilt is like, to stop the ripple of the pebble. It's like if I can everything will just go back to normal if this just stops. It's like, man, I think it's also like Walt. I think there's a lot of guilt. There is pride in like all the donations and stuff. But I think when you look at Walt, there's guilt from Jesse's thing, and then there's also the guilt from all the attention and all the goodwill, and now there's newspapers, now there's a television here, and it's like, dude, like there is, I think that when, not to jump too far ahead, but when Flynn...
I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, when he starts, he's the best. I love him. My dad's Superman. He's fucking punched out a bunch of Nazis, and it's like, my dad saved 2 blind Siamese autistic babies that were conjoined at the head from a fire, crazy shit. And just seeing Walt, I think it's not really anger. I don't think it's pride. I think it's total guilt. I think this is where Walt's like, God damn it, dude, I feel so bad. What?
I'm sorry, I'm just laughing at
that description.
I'm just laughing at how ridiculous Flynn's.
My dad was there on 9/11 and he saved. My dad told Reagan, you go out there and you tell him, tear down this wall. And he went out there and he said it.
My dad was the reason that the plane did not breach the Pentagon. It crashed outside, God damn it.
Oh, my dad was on Flight 93, but he jumped off of it and he was fine, My dad's a hero.
Oh my God!
My dad tackled John Wilkes Booth.
My dad wasn't at JFK shooting.
My dad was the first guy who. My dad was the first guy who pointed at Lee Harvey Oswald. There he is, just Walt with like 50s glasses on and a hat, like just pointing. Sorry, it's so stupid.
My dad was also on the moon with Neil Armstrong.
Yeah. He actually leaned over in the ship and was like, this is one small step for man. And he's like, okay, got it. My dad was sick. He just couldn't go.
My dad turned to Neil and said, I've already been in Mars, you little bitch.
Yeah. Oh, the moon is so last season.
Holy shit. I'm just picturing like Walt Jr. This coming out of like Walt Jr.'s mouth.
Well, and like the fucking newswoman just staring at him, just like, and like it doesn't even phase her. She's just like, Oh, man.
Oh, my God. Holy shit. Not to go right back to the darkness, but right here.
Darkness, my old friend. Sorry, what?
I just think of the Dr. Manhattan's funeral in
Watchmen. Yeah, yes.
But Jesse's in a state of self-hatred right here, right? Like he believes that he deserves what happened because a couple episodes ago in the episode 4 Days Out, when they're out in the desert, Walt says you deserve everything bad that happens to you, right? Like
having that thrown back at you.
Yeah, and totally. Like imagine the level of guilt that Walt is feeling from there. Absolutely.
And he says it pretty clearly. It's not him crying. It's not him. Oh my God, this is what you said. He's like, no, this is what it is, man. It's like a very, I don't know.
He's like an automaton, like someone who's had their soul ripped out of him and then just a machine right now.
There's that, and there's a strange feeling of like clarity where he's just like, no, these are the things that we reap what we sow, and this is what we've sown. And I think he's understanding that, and Walter is not. And I think that's very interesting that like he's only affected this woman's life just this one little way, and it's completely destroyed him. Like if he knew how he's affected thousands of people at this point, dude, he couldn't sleep, you know?
I'm wondering because you've never seen the show The Wire, right?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay. So The Wire, very briefly, I'm sure I've talked about it on one of our podcasts, but it's all about like the heroin game in Baltimore. And it's about the cops and it's about the criminals. But you know, the criminals they're always talking about, you know, whenever someone dies in that show, there's an attitude of, oh, it's all about the game. It's in the game. Like, you know, like they're in the game, they understood the stakes. And I'm wondering, like, it's a little bit like the scale is not that kind of like exaggerated here. But Jesse's been in this quote game for a while now. He's seen a few people die. He's seen, you know, Crazy 8 die. He's seen there's a couple of people, Combo even, right? I mean, I wonder if, you know, because Jane wasn't in the game, but Jesse kind of was. And I wonder if, you know, like him chalking her death up, you know, like him kind of like brushing it off would. Do you see what I'm saying? Like him brushing it off and like him being a little bit more, I guess, accepting of her death is because, oh, it's kind of part of the game. It's what we're a part of right now. Like, you know, is there a little bit of that, do you reckon?
You mean like you think that's what Walt is thinking, or Jesse's thinking?
Well, Jesse's kind of like easiness to accept Jane's death. That she's dead. Because like he's not beside himself, right? Like he's not crying anymore. He's not, like you said, he's not bawling his eyes out anymore. It's acceptance. It's this kind of like clarity. And I wonder if it was easier for him to accept that clarity or reach that clarity because he understood that this was the game that they're in. Like, you know, like that this is the kind of world that they live in.
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know any of the show beyond these 2 seasons yet, but to me, that felt literally just like, it felt like somebody on death row going like, yeah, you know what? It's coming and it's going to happen and whatever, dude.
Like
I did it.
Last mail kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, just a bit of, I don't know, maybe just a moment of clarity of just like, wow, yeah, I really fucked up. Like I am a responsible party in all of this. Like, yeah, it's really mature in a way, but it's also like, dude, that's not true. You played a part, but you're not the part, you know?
Right. Yeah. What rolls up to his house with a news van out front? Dude, how annoying would this be? Right? Imagine coming back to your own house. There's a news van at the front. Strange setup, right? I mean, like all this lighting equipment. You can't even open your door because the camera bag is there. Like, you know, like you're just struggling to
fucking smash Marie. Jesus Christ.
I'm trying to set a fucking
Mimi.
I'm trying to set a fucking stage here, and you're just like, yeah, fuck Marie.
She's progressively gotten like I have hated her up until, and I still don't like her character, but God, she is hot, and it's like, good Lord, like
I don't see it. Floyd, we know Floyd agrees with you. But like,
I think I was on the border, and when Floyd said something, I was like, "Yeah, no." If I were on a blind date and I showed up to a blind date and she was there, I'm like, "Okay, cool, that's awesome." You know, like my brother did that. He was like, my brother was like, "This is how I feel if someone's like, do you find this woman attractive? Do you don't? Do you not? Blah blah." He's like, "If you show up to a blind date and they're sitting there, how do you feel?" And it's like, okay, that's fine,
fair enough.
You know, yeah. I mean, there's worse people on this show, you know, like the hotel prostitute, Wendy or whatever fucking Hank called her. But yeah, this is fucking annoying. Him walking in and being like, cool, can't even get in my own goddamn house.
See, like Marie is like a Michigan 8, whereas in Miami she'd be like a Miami 2.
That's like a Tennessee 9, my friend. The Michigan 8 is a Tennessee 9. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh man, go down to Bondi Beach. That's where you got to be.
Oh, Bondi.
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 It's Bondi. Don't ever say Bondi. It's terrible.
Bondi.
No. But look, the surprise on Walt's face as Marie tells him, "Why not be on TV?" Fucking priceless, man. Like this escalated so much. This went from a newspaper to a fucking TV interview. But let's talk about the look on Walt's face as they're recording this, man. It's fucking brilliant. Cranston is amazing at playing discomfort. You know, like he's just sitting there kind of like squirming. Junior says Walt's the best, not knowing that he let a young girl die the night before. Right? I mean, this is... It's like you've stuck the knife in and you're just twisting it now, you know?
Yes. Like, I grew up watching Cranston on Malcolm in the Middle, you know, and he was like the goofy kind of dad and stuff, but this is like a whole other caliber. But yeah, like he just plays like a guy who's constantly sitting on his car keys, you know? He plays that very well.
It's going right up the asshole, right up the old throat.
Right in the cheek. He's like, ow.
In the hospital before his surgery, Walt's on some strong medication and inadvertently reveals the second phone by answering which one to the question, "Where's your phone?"
Idiot.
Skyler is, of course, flawed.
Jesus. I literally went, I was like, oh, no.
He's down for the count. He's down. It's fucking Joe Rogan.
It's one of those moments where you're watching television where, like, if I were on my laptop, I would have just shut it and be like, oh, fuck. Fuck. Like, God damn it. As soon as he did it, I was just like, oh, you're in the home stretch. Like, nothing crazy is going on. I was like, God damn it, dude. Like, it was jarring. I was like, I felt like somebody hit me with cold water. I was like, God, motherfucker. I was like, God,
it's rough, man. It's rough. It's like you said, dude, like he was basically in the clear. Basically. We get this quick little montage of Walt's surgery. This is always tough to watch for me. Like fucking medical operations. I'm not squeamish.
I'm glad it's not like The Exorcist, you know, when they're doing that shit to her throat. But this was pretty mild to me. But I was just like, what is that huge lump you pulled out? Like, is that it? Like, goddamn, what is that thing?
Like bullets, right? Like they look like bullets.
They pull out those two little things, and then this huge. It's like an 8-ounce ribeye they drop in. I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, goddamn,
some lean meat, dog. Dude, we get something that doesn't happen too often in Breaking Bad. We get a flash forward in time. Right?
Cool.
Like Holly's 7 weeks old now. We're with Dr. Del Cavalli and the surgeon. Walt's recovered from his surgery. The surgeon that says that there's no reason not to be optimistic. And Skyler is eager to know whether Walt can be on his own, whether he can be independent. Mm-hmm. Much to Walt's surprise. Donald returns to work, has this moment with one of his colleagues in the break room. Dude, imagine returning to work after losing your daughter, losing someone that close to you. How many of these shitty moments you'd be having, right? Like, geez, terrible thing that had happened. Oh, I'm so sorry. Fuck off, dude, man. Just leave me alone. Don't mention it. Let's just get to work.
I just had a friend of mine recently whose mom passed away, and I messaged him and I was like, "Hey, listen, like, thoughts and prayers. Yeah, that's all great, dude. Seriously, like, if you need something, fucking call me. Like, you know, my dad died when I was in my early 20s. Like, if you need anything, like, let me know. Like, I know it sucks. It's really sudden. So, like, fuck thoughts and prayers and shit. Like, call me. You want to hang out? You want to get out of the house or something? They're like, thanks, man. I really thank you. That kind of broke up the monotony of just, oh, we're sorry. It's like, I love you. I know you mean well, but dude, you got to think how many times I've heard that.
Literally, that's what it is. Yeah, totally.
Exactly.
And this is, of course, where we find out that Donald is an air traffic controller. Are you kind of like, at this point, were you kind of like piecing things together?
Kind of. I mean, I was like, okay, either he works for like NASA, or, you know, is he like wiretapping Walt's phone? Like, like, is he with the NSA? I was like, what is going on here? But then what he started, like, Ralph Bravo Tomeo Juliet 1 in 10,000 hours or whatever. I was like, oh, okay. I don't know. I'm throwing letters together here.
Do you know? Actually, I used to play a game with my mate. We used to know the entire kind of like alphabet that they use in the military. So like, you know, like Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo, Fox, Golf. A hotel. I can't remember. I'm not gonna go through it all, but like, yeah, like, you know, all the way up to Yankee, Zulu, Like, yeah, like, it's fucking awesome, dude. I love that shit. I love military speak.
Yeah, no, I do that too sometimes where I'm like, A is in Alpha, D is in Delta, C is in Charlie, and it's like, oh, okay.
Right, totally. Skyler tells Walt that she's leaving with the kids, tells Walt to pack his things and leave. She tells him it's because he's a liar. 2 cell phones after all. And Walt tries to defend himself by saying he was medicated, but Skyler says, I think you accidentally told the truth. She pieced together the strange behavior together, the fugue state. Dude, the passing of time was such a brilliant masterstroke thing to do, because in that time, she was able to gather all of this evidence. She's been like out there like Sherlock Holmesing this shit, dude. Like, she thought that Walt was having an affair with Gretchen Schwartz. Skyler straight up asked her, right? Gretchen also revealed the information about the money. Checked with Dr. Delcavoli at the hospital, nearly $100,000 in hospital bills, all paid up, right? Mm-hmm. She also called Walt's mother, confirmed he never visited her. She didn't even know he had cancer, dude.
Jesus.
You know, like, all of Walt's lies are now catching up with him, and it's brilliant to behold. It's such a sight to behold, because this has been building up since episode 1.
Right, yeah. This has just been, it's like that piece of furniture that you've been meaning to replace, but you've just been sitting on it, and the leg, it's just that crack in the leg has gotten longer and longer, and it's like, yeah, you can't really ignore this anymore, man.
Yep, lies on top of lies on top of lies, says Skyler. Walt pleads with Skyler. Why did I say like that? Walt pleads with Skyler. If he tells her the truth, will she stay? And she says something that kind of stuck with me. She says she's afraid to know.
Yeah, I mean, I would be too, where you come up with $100,000. Like, it's not like you found it in a taxi cab. You can tell people that, like, but $100,000 and you're having to like lie. Like, Walt's not a stupid man, you know, and I don't think
Walt for 4 days.
Right.
Where were you going for 4 days? Dude?
Right. And not to mention the like that whole fugue stake shit. Like, dude, I mean, he's really kind of put her through the ringer. And I think that it'd be one thing if she just confronted him again about him saying, oh, you said you had 2 cell phones. He would be able to kind of somehow lateral his way out of that. But she's like, no, I went to all the bases you were going to run to and checked them.
Totally, dude. Like, let's say, for example, he does admit that he was cheating on Skyler with Gretchen Schwartz, and Skyler didn't check with Gretchen Schwartz, right? Let's just say that happened.
Uh-huh.
You would still have a whole bunch of evidence that refutes the facts, or even, you know, that doesn't explain that it was just an affair. Like, you know, like the $100,000, like the fugue state. What happened there? There's still a whole bunch of questions. So Walt just, you know, even if he was just to admit that he cheated on Skyler with Gretchen, that's like one explanation is not enough for this. Like, you know, there's always going to be things like yeah. He's caught off guard, and someone finally called bullshit. You know,
there's too many holes in the ship to patch now. It's like, nah, man, you just got to jump off that bitch.
Totally. Meanwhile, Donald becomes overwhelmed with his job, even says Jane's name instead of Juliet, and causes a mid-air collision. Like I said, dude, this is the butterfly effect. One relatively small decision made by Walt, and I know that the killing of a person is not, you know, small, but relatively small. Decision made by Walt created an unforeseen and catastrophic ripple effect leading to the deaths of hundreds. We see the bear crashing down to Earth into Walt's pool, and we cut to black, and that's season 2.
Yeah, fuck her. She made her own decision. You know, if she wasn't so much of a junkie, she could hold herself. No, I'm just kidding. The one thing I did actually notice, and I don't think this is on purpose, but it is kind of funny, is like the color of the stuffed animal is like similar to Walt's sweater. It's like a weird, like pinkish purple, like kind of color.
Like some kind of like, you know, direct ink like connection to him.
Right. And honestly, I think my only gripe, and I think something that, and I don't know how this affects going into the 3rd season, so maybe that's why I would have liked to have seen this happen somewhere where it literally didn't land in Walt's backyard, where if it's like Walt doesn't even really know about, you know, because I don't know if he figures out, oh, that's the guy who I talked to, and that's that's her, you know, dad. Well, I have no idea if he figures that shit out. I assume he doesn't, because that would just be a lot of shit. Maybe he does. I don't know. But I think seeing it happen somewhere else would be a little bit more interesting to me, of like, oh, fuck. Like, you don't even really know, like, all the shit that you affect. Like, I do kind of like it landing in his backyard, because it is kind of like justice of seeing a stuffed animal, something a little girl would play with, fucking just floating face down in the water like fucking Nirvana's Nevermind album. You know, it's like I do like that. So, but part of me is like, man, it's awfully convenient, but it's convenient for like dramatic sake. You know, I can handle that.
Yeah, dude, I 100% agree. Like once you start, thinking about it and like thinking about who this bear belonged to,
right?
That it's just like, holy shit, man, this is dark. This is terrible. Yeah, but that's it, man.
Hell yeah, dude. That's season two.
Season 2, episode 13. We're done. Wow, crazy.
Done the show forever. We're not doing the rest of them.
That's the show. See you later.
Just quit.
But yeah, man. Look, tell me. I'll try and organize a wrap up episode like we did with season 1. But tell me about what you thought about season 2 as a whole and this episode. Maybe just start off with this episode as a whole first, and then go into season 2. Just briefly.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't really have a whole lot on this episode that I haven't already said, but I do like the way the biggest thing is really for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So it's like now you're seeing, again, the ripples in the pond. I think that's the best thing about the whole episode is seeing like what his actions have led to. Now he's drawn even Hank closer into danger by meeting Gus. Like now he's put Hank on Gus's radar. And that's not good because now by going into business with him, you're dragging people into this like underworld with you, but they're the ones who end up kind of paying way more, in consequences than you are. So I think all in all, the second season's been really good. I think it's definitely better than the first one. I think the first one is a solid season of television, but I think once you start seeing these like, once you see Saul show up and then you see Mike and you see her dad and Jane, I was like, okay, I'm seeing players that I know just from even ads. So I know that these are big players and I know that this episode of television is going to get really good.
Well, if you think back, and like it's tough for us to think back now because we've been, our coverage of season 2 has spanned such a long period of time, but this, like season 2 had Tuco in it. Right, I mean, like it started off in that junkyard
like
way back
ago.
when, yeah, and like the second episode was like him out there with with the rice and poison in the tortilla that he's making, and like they're kind of like struggling to get to it, and the car and the shootout, and then Hank rocks up, and yeah, like it's wild, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, all in all, I liked it a lot. It definitely seems like it covers a lot of ground, and I'm excited to start season 3.
Boom. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us for this season of Bad Crystal, a Breaking Bad podcast. This has been a bunch of fun. We're hoping that the break between season 2 and season 3 is not as long as season 1 and season 2. But we're going to take a little bit of a break to catch our breaths. We got a whole bunch of things going on. There's a few things cooking in the background. We got Midnight Oil feature going strong. We got our bonus episodes going strong. We'll definitely be back in the near future. If you do want news on when we'll be back, please keep your eyes peeled on our social media. And to find our social media, just head to the show notes right there in your app. All of our details are there. And I'll probably drop like a little bit of like a 2-minute probably like episode just letting you know when we'll be back, just like how I did for season 2. So, Colin, you got anything else to say before we head out of here?
No, just thanks for hanging out with us, guys. Thanks for hanging in with the second season. We hope you guys are along for the full ride. Again, I don't know any of these episodes going forward. I have no knowledge of Breaking Bad. So I'm excited to see where the next 3 seasons go. Is it 3 seasons?
3 seasons, yep.
3 seasons. After this, we're going to start a Sopranos podcast. No, I'm just so fucking down for that.
I just want to talk about Pine Barrens, dude. That episode where they're out in the snow.
Oh, yeah. Woke up this morning. Got myself... Anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening to us babble on. We'll see you guys next time here in Bad Crystal, Breaking Bad podcast. See you next time.